welcome to this Dreamweaver tutorial. My name is Daniel Walter Scott and I'm a trainer here at Bring Your Own Laptop. Now if you want to follow along, in the notes just below there is a link to all the exercise files. Okay, otherwise check out our website for the class files so you can follow along. Alright, so in the previous tutorial we just had a quick look at what is a domain name and what is hosting. Now that you've signed up, you would have got an email. That email will give you details regarding how to set up what's called your FTP. It's the most common way of connecting your Dreamweaver files to your host so that the world can see your website. So we're going to work through that. So let's imagine you've got your email. I can't show you mine because you'll have all my details for my website, and that's probably not good posting on YouTube. So have yours in front of you. And we'll talk through it. So to hook up Dreamweaver to your site, you go to Site, you go to Manage Sites. Okay, we created one in the first video when we said setting up a website. Now you'll have a list in here. Now we're using this one here, example tutorial. I'm going to double click that one. All right, and we've got some options. So the name and the local site folder, we did an early tutorial, but this is where it is stored on your computer. Okay, mine's stored on my desktop. Okay, the site name is just purely for us as the designer, just to give it a title. The important bit is this thing called servers now. So where it says servers, hit this little plus button. Okay, this is where I'm going to try and transcribe my details from my email into this part here. Now, let's give it a go. Now, all the hosts send slightly different information. This can be probably the hardest bit to get set up. Okay, so let's go through it. So server name is totally up to us. So this is my, let's use Digital Pacific Hosting. Okay, that name doesn't need to be anything. You can call that whatever you like. So the connection we're using is FTP. FTP address, this can be generally one of two things. It can be FTP dot your domain .com. Okay, so your domain, replace that with whatever you've called your website. Sometimes though it can just be yourdomain.com. Sometimes it can be www.yourdomain.com. Sometimes when you just set it up, it'll only work as an IP address. So it'll be I can't remember what an IP address looks like, but it looked like a crazy number like that. So check your email, see if you can find some sort of address or FTP address. Unfortunately, there's not a really universal naming convention for this. So sometimes some host people just call it the address or your website. Okay, so try a few different options in there. Now we're going to do this one, yourdomain.com. Now the username. Now for different hosts, this will be generally pretty clear on your email that you get. It'll be your username. So this one's going to be Daniel Walter Scott. Generally it's just a solid username like that. Sometimes it can look like an email. Okay, at your domain. I'm being a little vague, I guess, in this one because there are so many different options to hosting that you might have to try them all. So sometimes it's just that, okay, just your username, and then sometimes it's username plus your domain name. Looks like an email address. Password, okay, that'll come through as your in your email. I'm going to put mine in. Okay, now the root directory. Try it blank first. Okay, if blank doesn't work, it's generally something like public underscore HTML. That's generally it. Okay, hit test on that one, see if it works. When I say when it works, if you hit test and it says successfully connected to your server, you're done. Okay, job done. So try it with nothing, hit test. If that doesn't work, try it with public underscore HTML. Sometimes, if you are splitting a host into little pieces, it'll need your domain in there. Okay, the name of the website or the folder that they've stuck it in for you. So check the email. It should, if it doesn't say anything, they probably don't need anything. If that doesn't work, try public underscore HTML. Sometimes it needs the domain name as well. This bit down here gets generated for you. Don't sweat about that one. Okay, these little details create this one down the bottom, so don't sweat that option. That should work. Hit test. If it doesn't work, okay, one of the main things is, let me show you, is playing around with these settings under more options. Generally for me, if I turn passive FTP off for a client, it can fix it up, and sometimes it doesn't. So it's try turning these ticks on and off, keep hitting test. If you can't get it to work, okay, you've paid for your hosting, and as part of that payment, you've paid for some sort of support. So don't be afraid to, my best option is to give them a call. So actually sit down. I know the phones can take a long time before you actually get through to someone, but it's so much easier when you get through to someone and just explain you're new to it, you're using Dreamweaver, have this up in front of you and get them to talk it through with you. Okay, and they can help. And if there's an error, they can fix it. If it's just you've got something mixed up, they can quite easily show you through it. I find email support can be too tedious, especially when you're really new, because they say things that you're not too sure about just yet. So give them a call, help them fill out this form here and don't let them go off the phone until you can connect. Okay, you can hit test and connect to the server and it connects successfully. All right, that'll be it for this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one.